Hey everybody, Donald Dem here with Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing School. We're out here on a pretty nice day in the front yard. I'm going to kind of take a walkthrough, if you will, give you guys a video walkthrough of the Crescent Kayaks brand Lite Tackle. It's a 12'4" kayak, 34 inches wide, and weighs 75 pounds, and has a capacity of 450 pounds. And we're going to kind of walk through just a little bit, give you guys kind of an idea of what the kayak is. Sorry about that. Try to get this camera a little bit better and turn it around. So the kayak, like I said, 12'4", 34 inches wide, weighs 75 pounds, has a weight capacity of 450, and that is the Lite Tackle from Crescent Kayaks. Crescent Kayaks has been around since 2001. They're based out of Georgia. They use all American parts, all American sourced parts, sole sourced in the U.S. So it's a 100% USA made company. Excuse me. We're going to start at the front up here, at the bow, if you will. Got a nice ergonomic, sturdy handle, heavy duty, no elastics, no straps. It got nice knuckle space. I don't have a huge hand, but as you can see, there's a lot of space underneath my knuckles. If you go down, we're going to look at the underneath part, and this boat has an extremely good rocker on it. And we're going to try to get a little bit of a view here. So you guys see that kind of like a rocker, if you guys aren't familiar with what that term is, if you think of a rocking chair, that's exactly what that bow of that boat, or that hull of that boat looks like from bow to stern. Very banana shaped, if you will. What that does is allow it to be extremely maneuverable in the water. For a 12'4" kayak, this thing paddles and maneuvers about like a 10-foot kayak, because of this allows the minimum amount of kayak touching the surface of the water, which means less resistance, and it means less actual plastic touching the water to turn it. So it's very fast, it's very agile, it's very maneuverable, and it's 34 inches wide. So it's as wide as your average, wide kayaks today. It's definitely wide enough to stand in. It's got a huge deck on it, a huge wide open deck. It's probably, let's see, if it's 34 inches wide, that's probably 29 inches, 28 inches of deck space that you can really stand up in. Maybe 24 inches there. Like I said, it's just a huge amount of deck space, and I fly fish, so it's got a lot of great space to toss your fly line down there, and just about anything else. I'm going to kind of start back up here. Like I said, here's the handle. Pick it up in the front. Got a huge dry storage hatch. I mean, a gigantic hatch on this thing. And when I tell you gigantic, I can fit a 260 centimeter paddle fully assembled all the way down in there. It is huge. So we're going to kind of take this camera, turn upside down if you guys will, right side up if I can. It is an absolute huge space. Now, keep in mind, I have a couple of pool noodles in there, and that's more of a preference for me because I had a bad incident one time in a different kayak, and that's a video. That's another story for another video. So that is the bow hatch. Huge storage, huge amount of storage. So if you think about taking this thing on the river, going camping, stuff your camping, your sleeping stuff, your tent, your bag, I mean anything you could possibly fit in there, this thing will hold. And with the 450 pound capacity, you can take a lot of stuff with you in the water. So there you go, handle, bow, nice bungee cord. So if you want to put something, like a tent, or if you're like me as a fly fisher, I could put my waders up here so I can get out. I can go wade fishing in shallower water. I just put my waders right here. They're not going to fall out. It kind of holds them nice and tight, and then I can take them off when I get back in the kayak and put them right back on there. So it's really nice. Adjustable foot pegs. Now, I am 6 foot tall, and I have those right about there when I'm in it. So you can probably fit somebody right about 6'6", probably pushing it. I'm pretty comfortable with the foot pegs, but as you can see, there's enough space here that if you're taller than 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", you're probably just going to use these as a footrest, and that's perfectly fine. But they say they adjust really short all the way back up there. I've had kids in this kayak, and they fit in it just fine. There's no big deal with it. There are Yak Attack track accessories on both sides of the hull here, the deck here, sorry. And then we're going to go around. We're going to come back to this area in just a moment, but as you see, you got 2 side handles, one on each side. Same design as the front, very rigid, nice handle. Extremely easy to use. These aren't going to fade, these aren't going to break, and they're not going to stretch out and get worn out like the little elastic stuff with the band on it. Okay, Yak Attack mighty mounts on the back right behind the seat. So you can put your rod holders, you can put a net, you can put just about anything you could ever want to, your flag, your visipole. I mean, the mighty mount allows you to do a whole lot of different things with this. So you can use whatever rod holder you want to use, or you can use if you want to get a cart and put the cart across there, whatever you want to do. Again, Yak Attack accessory, or Yak Attack track on the back to mount accessories. You've got a nice bungee cord here, a humongous tank well. I mean, just a gigantic tank well. I could fit a 35 quart Igloo cooler back here. I don't have a Yeti of that size. Yeti, if you're listening, you can send me one. I'll see if it fits. But Igloo works just fine for me. But Igloo fits right in the 35 quart, and that's a pretty good size cooler. As you can see, it's got a gigantic scupper hole, and the scupper holes are center. So even in the tank well, and even in the deck area, they're centered. There's actually 3. There's 1, 2, and then there's 3 right behind the seat here, and then there's a rear one. So there's 3 in the deck, 1 in the rear. They're centered, so any water that's going to come in, whether it's in the deck, whether it's in the rear, it's going to come right down in there and drain right out. I've had this in the river, I've had it in lakes, I've had it in ponds, and I have never had water just standing in it. It drains extremely well. It's got padding in the back to EVA foam, so nice little quieter stuff. Nice to put so nothing's going to skid around, drop out, fall out, whatever. Again, 2 handles on the rear. Makes it really nice to car top this thing, because you can get it from either side. If you got 2 people carrying it, 1 person on the front, a person can carry a little bit more weight. You know, if you got a smaller person, they can put both hands on this. Kind of helps distribute the weight, so it's really kind of nice. Now you're going to notice the stern on this, nice and square and flat, kind of like a transom. And there's a reason for that, because it is a transom. This is designed so that you can mount a trolling motor right on top of this, you know. No modifications needed. It has, you know, your clamps will go right here, your battery can sit in there, and your trolling motor can go right here. So it's trolling motor ready if you want to do that. It's got a rear drain plug here. It's got some pad eyes throughout, a couple here and a couple here. Now your bungee cord in the back, now it adjusts, so you just, you know, loosen these, and these will move up and down wherever you need them to go, so you can adjust that bungee system however you need to adjust that bungee system. Again, on the side, you got your handles, you got your Yak Attack track, and you've got a little cord here to put a bungee cord or something like that. Now I'm gonna show you something about this seat in a second, but what I want to show you is try to write down in here these little red cords right on the side. These are red, some of them will be black. It depends on the color and the model, the color of light tackle you get, but these are designed to hold a tackle box, so they'll slip right in there, kind of keep it right next to your seat. You can put all kinds of stuff in there, anything you want to secure in there. It's right next to your hand, so it's easy to grab, and then you can kind of put that up in there, and that bungee cord to kind of hold it in, so it's kind of universal there. We'll get back to the seat in a minute. You'll notice these little pockets here, these little mesh pockets, and they're really great. They're great for storing stuff. It's got a nice little area in it. I mean, it's big enough. You can put a cell phone, you can put some leader material, you can put whatever you want to in there. As a fly fisherman, I just put my nippers and some pliers and stuff in there, so that way they're not dropping over, you know, and falling down, you know, that center scupper hole right there. And you don't want to lose that, so I just put some pliers in here, and I'll put some nippers and things like that. So and there's one on each side, so it's really easy to get to when you're sitting in a seat. And if you kind of look in here, behind here is a little cubby hole, a little secret cubby hole, if you will, like a glove box. And this glove box works really well. It's kind of tilted out a little bit. If you can, I don't know if I can try to get the angle, but it's not straight back. It's kind of tilted down, so anything is going to kind of slide towards the front. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, it was kind of it's more designed to give the hole a little more structural integrity, but also it's kind of a nice design to give you a little secret stash to put something in. Now, as a fly fisherman and even a conventional fisherman, you know, you can put your leader material in there. You know, put your leaders, you know, a spool of leader or a spool of tippet if you're a fly fisherman. You can put it right in here and drag, you know, put the line up top, and then you can have the end of the leader material sitting up top. I'm just going to come to this one because it's a little difficult to do one-handed when you're outside the boat, but now you can have your leader material coming straight up the top, and you've got right there ready to go, and you just stuff it back down in here, or you can capture it with a zipper or whatever you want to do. It's not going to fall out because that's pretty tight on there. That's a great place to put leader material. I like to put, if you want to put your cell phone in there, it's fits most modern cell phones. You know, they're getting bigger, but that's a big box. That's probably 6.5, 7 inches, probably 4 inches, 5 inches deep, maybe at the deepest point, and probably 4 inches wide or 4 inches tall. So it's a pretty good sized pocket. What I'm gonna try to do is just give me just a minute, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. Let me try to put this camera down and try to get this done back up just a little bit. You know, some things are much easier done inside the boat because that's where they're meant to be done from than outside the boat. That's just the way it is sometimes, right? Okay, so we got that back on there. Zip that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the seat. The seat, again, it's 100% American made. It's hand sewn. It's all made in America. The seat straps in. You got one strap here on either side, so straps in the front. It doesn't have a strap in the back to secure it in the back, so it does kind of come up a little bit. It is a one-position seat. It's only a low-position seat. In the future, maybe future models will have a different type of seat on it. I'm not sure about that yet, but right now this is the 2019 model, and they do not offer anything but a low position seat. However, that's not a bad thing. This kayak is designed for paddling pleasure, and the ease of paddle. So it's got the paddler in mind and fishing second. So this is not a fishing kayak that you paddle. This is a paddling kayak that you fish from. And with that in mind, this seat is positioned in this position so that you can get the least amount of effort and the most amount of reward, or most amount of paddle with each stroke. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of go through this. Got one strap on each side. This thing will go all the way back, so you can travel like that, pretty nice and flat. It goes right over that little transom right there, if you will. And a lot of adjusting on this seat. I'm going to try to just bring this up just a minute. Pardon the camera, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. So the seat will go pretty nice. It's got a really good adjustment front and back. It's got a lot of adjustments coming up and down. So you've got two straps here to get the tension on the back. You've got three straps here. So you've got an upper back, a middle back, and a lower back. So no matter what kind of lumbar support you need, you will get it in this seat. So there's three straps here. There's two straps here. And that's all for adjustment on the tension on your back. So you can really adjust this thing to get it so tuned in to your back, your weight, your posture, your position, that it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, on the bottom of this seat, now I'm just gonna leave that seat in there, but I've got another seat here from another kayak. One quick thing, all Crescent Kayaks fishing models, their seats are interchangeable. So the Lite Tackle, the Ultralight, or the Sup Plus, any one of those seats will fit on any one of these kayaks. So I've actually got one of these seats off of my students' ultralights here. Same exact seat, it's just black instead of red. But what I want to show you is at the bottom. Okay, so here's the back, just like the red one here, right? And here's the bottom of the seat. So again, just like the back of the seat, we've got two straps to give you kind of to get that tension on the butt, right? So that's going to get your tension this way. And then we've also got three straps on this, so you can take your tension 1, 2, 3. So it's a lot of adjustment on the seat, so that you can do this. Oh, pardon me, I smashed some flowers there, and that's not going to be a good thing, trust me. Anyway, so you can get a lot of adjustment on this seat, and really fine tune this thing for your size, your weight, your length, everything else. As you can see, the fine line on this is right through here. So everything in the water line's got a nice 4 inches. So you can add a whole lot to the deck of this thing. As it comes, it's pretty clean, it's pretty simple. This will allow you to tailor this, to make this however you want to make this for you, however it fits you. Great kayak. It's a Crescent Kayaks Lite Tackle, 12'4" long, 34 inches wide, weighs 75 pounds, and holds up to 450. And the price tag is under $1,000. That's right, $899 MSRP on this. So great kayak for the money. If you're looking for something that's wide, that's big, that holds a lot of weight, that you can take on a river, that you can take on the lakes, that you can take overnight, you know, on a camping trip or week, a couple weeks tournament, pre-fishing for tournaments, it's a great boat for that. And you've got such a clean deck, such a huge clean deck. Now, with that, you notice there is no way to strap on a paddle, but Yak Attack makes some great accessories. So what I do is I got my paddle here, and I got this paddle holder from Yak Attack, and it'll go right in here somewhere. And I usually put it on the other side, because but it'll hold it right up in there for you. Pretty nice and easy. If you don't want to do that, you can always slide it right in just like that. No need to buy an accessory, right? So it's nice and clean, nice and easy. Still gives you a lot of room. Still got the paddle on there. Really nice, great kayak. Highly recommend it. If you guys got any questions, please let me know or just comment below, and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. Again, Crescent Kayaks from Georgia, 100% American made. This is the Lite Tackle model. I am Donald Dem with Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing School, and we will catch you guys next time. Thank you.